People are really interested in the Wii U, but they don't necessarily want to read about it, and they can't buy it because it's sold out.
Yeah, they can
So,
just hear us just spew uninformed bullshit about it.
Yeah, it's easy to listen to, though. I just turn it on and do something else.
Yeah, hold it, homie! I am getting down with you! Oh! Well, let's not break out the joy loom just yet.
I've got it on the brain.
Brilliant. Brilliant. I've got you on the brain.
No, you don't.
That was interesting that you said... I didn't actually catch that bit of the recording, so I'm recording now.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
When you said thank you for inviting me onto the Sudden podcast, I instantly filled in the blank before you said podcast with death. So now I would like it if we got you involved in some sort of sudden death round. I think that should be standard on Podtoid every week, is a sudden death round. Where, I don't know, we put you in a boo box, like in Hook. You know, a big box, and we just feed scorpions through a hole in there with you. And it is sudden death, so if you don't die suddenly, you lose. If it takes longer than a minute, you lose. We win, and we get all your money. But by we, I mean me.
So it's just kill him suddenly, not sudden death round. Oh, wow, he's gonna lose quickly if he loses at all, but just kill a man fast.
Yeah, but there's an element of challenge to this, because, I mean, you don't want to lose, so you'd be having to roll around on the scorpions, or just grab the scorpions and stab them in your arm like arachnid heroin.
That would be, wow.
Just while you're saying, come on, Daddy's gotta win big money, fabulous prizes. By that I mean you get to keep your money.
But I'm dead.
Yeah, but you get to keep your money. Think of your unborn child, and think of what will be left to him if I have your money and fiefdom over your kingdom.
I don't think my wife is pregnant, so how could I don't have an unborn child
Well,
yet.
I would get started, because otherwise you'll be up shit creek without an heir.
You just reviewed Tank just now. You gave it a 4.5 out of 10. You didn't like it that much.
Yeah, spoilers.
Sorry about that.
You spoiled it for me. I didn't know what I gave it. Yeah, just finished that about 15 minutes ago. Finished the writing, and now it's up on the thing. Because we're working fast. Working fast this week.
Yeah, Rabbids Land, ZombiU, Scribblenauts Unlimited, the Wii U hardware. Which, did you have to change your review of that after they set the update live last night, where they finally let you get online and check out Miiverse and stuff like that?
Yeah, it wasn't a review at first. That's why it's set out a little unconventionally. It's set out more like a feature, because that's what it was. It was more of a, here's what I think of the hardware. And everything that in there that talks about the hardware was already written. Everything about how I think the gamepad feels, how the box looks, all that kind of shit. That was already there. Then I was out. I've given myself a break. I said, oh, nothing's going on right now. I've got everything important sorted. I'm going to have a little respite. And maybe eat a microwavable Red Baron's pizza, I don't know. And then while I was out, someone, I forget who, was hitting people up on Twitter just saying the update's out. So I got home, and then that was my new evening, was messing around with that. And then I'd spent a good long, about, I guess, yeah, well over 2 hours tinkering around with that. Got to troll Miiverse, filled it up with a load of crap. Got myself moderated on Miiverse.
Yeah, America wins at war.
That wasn't the one. That wasn't the one. The drawing of the gun in the Call of Duty Black Ops Miiverse community was fine, as was me writing Clerpty-derpty Black Blurp Derps too. That was fine. It was the one I posted. I went into the Arkham City community and wrote, my best bit was when the batted man kicks Dr. Octopus in the head and says, "Shut up, idiot." And that got reported by someone and shut down, like deleted by Miiverse administration for violent content. I guess because Doc Ock got kicked. I almost said Doc Cock. That's something I got planned for you next week. Doc Ock got kicked in the head by the Batman. Which, I get that they want to keep a family-friendly thing, but the idea was funny that this is a game in which Batman does, like, break arms and punch faces, and people get shot, and Catwoman's called a bitch literally every 3 seconds. That's
So
most
wait,
of the dialogue, and it got censored.
I'm really low on sleep. Am I hearing this right? You got censored for saying Doc Ock gun kick Batman in the face or something like that?
Batman kicked Doc Ock in the head, and that got removed. But I woke up this morning, and I woke up this morning. I'm with you on the sleep thing because I got up at like 5 a.m.
Oh,
5:30, and had to rush straight into writing, recording, and editing the Jimquisition.
Oh,
So I did all that, and then it wasn't until later in the morning, about 8, 9, that I fired up the Wii U again to check on stuff, and got a message from Miiverse administration that said they've reviewed the content that was deleted and decided it wasn't in violation of their policies and it had been restored. So
interesting.
I have
Wow.
been released from prison like the Birmingham Six or Nelson Mandela. I'm very much the Nelson Mandela of Miiverse.
This is already such a strange. I'm maybe it is the lack of sleep talking. I don't know, but I feel like this is a Twilight Zone where you're on a Wii console communicating with people online that you've never met before, and getting moderated, then getting unmoderated within 24 hours later.
Yeah. I mean,
This
it was
is
less than that. It was
wow.
just over the course of an evening because. I mean, I got unmoderated when I was asleep, and it wasn't too long after, I think. So, only in a matter of hours.
Does it feel like a new Nintendo to you? Does this doesn't feel like Nintendo to me so far. This is weird.
It's an evolved Nintendo, I think, and I think it's evolved well. I think it's good. I wrote like I said, we went really off topic, but I got the review up. I was able to turn my feature into a review, which I'm pleased with. I think I did well on that. I think I did okay. And as I said in the review, I'm very much a fan of what I've seen so far. And I get that it's so far, I
Sure.
get that, the launch library is hit and miss right now. There are some things, there are some problems. There are some lengthy loadings, and some of the features are a bit squiffy at the moment. I noticed this morning, actually, I was updating ZombiU, and the progress bar was just all over the place, telling me it'll take 4 minutes, then 3 seconds, then under a minute, then 3 minutes. There's just a few bits that are still a bit weird, but looking at what we have and where it could go, I'm very excited. And seeing something like Miiverse is fascinating because it is very not Nintendo in terms of them just saying, fuck it, let's open the doors. No friend codes, no overly protective stuff. They've got moderators, admins, they're definitely doing what they can to keep the content clean, but they're exposing users to a whole world of other Nintendo users. And so far, I mean, I found Miiverse surprisingly compelling, more entertaining than it should be. It's just little doodles and, I mean, posts that are less than a tweet in length, you only get 100 characters. But it's still just, it's fun to see these guys who are doing it in real time, because you can do that. You can open up Miiverse and the internet browser while you've got a game in session. You'll just pause the game and come back later. You don't have to close it like you do on, say, the PS3 or whatnot. So people are just playing games, then hitting the home button on their gamepad, hopping into Miiverse, and then typing stuff like, this game is fun, and stuff. And it's fun. It's fun to see that.
To me, it might work better. My wife is currently hooking up the Wii U behind me, so I haven't even gotten to play it at home yet. But that might work better for me than just talking to a bunch of people and having kind of that oral distraction the whole time. To just be able to look down, read a few things, then get back to the game.
Yeah. Plus,
for me anyway,
when I'm round there, you will have plenty of oral distraction.
I meant oral. A-U-R, not O-R.
I didn't, Jonathan. I meant cheeky blowjobs.
There was a lot of blowjob talk in my drive to New York yesterday.
Of course.
Suddenly drove to New York for the launch event. I really wish you were there, Jim. I know you probably wouldn't want to, but they should just be flying you out and doing all the event coverage because you would have been hilarious at this thing. This was just the perfect thing for your mind. There was, I mean, we could have done it together. Either way would have been fine. But you on camera observing the things that were going on last night would have been true YouTube genius, I think. Just an army of people with giant, like, encephalitic, swollen me heads coming out and doing the worst dances ever. Just like a fat me rubbing his butt like near an old woman who's from Argentina, being like, "Why is the big head here?" Just like terrifying. It was truly a nightmare, and a bunch of people who'd been there for like literally 2 days who hadn't eaten or sleep, and they're like falling down, and like it's like a war zone. They're dying and sad, and then a DJ with a long ponytail going, "Shake your fist exactly like this." Exactly like this, guys. And just doing the worst fist bump, like moving his fist literally 2 inches forward then back. Like, are you watching me? Are you doing this? Just like an angry. Maybe he was sleep deprived too. I don't know. And then Reggie said,
"Where are you from?"
Yeah.
Stairs and queers come from there, boy. Shake your fist exactly like this. These boys will hit you with soap bars and socks.
He was pointing people in the crowd and being like, "You, safety. I want some safety from." It's like, what is going on? And then just like, because it's New York, so then suddenly supermodels will walk by and just point and laugh at all the people in line, and it was a true circus. It was pretty darn stimulating. And then Jeff Kiley's suddenly there. And I look over and Jeff Kiley's talking to the Street Pass New York guy who's dressed as a giant raccoon. And Jeff Kiley, that face he made during the infamous Doritos and Mountain Dew picture.
I think it's Jeff Keighley, actually.
Yeah, I always do that. Sumit's corrected me on that last night.
Keep calling him Kylie. I like to imagine he looks like Kylie Minogue. I'm seeing Jeff Keighley wearing the gold hot pants from that, I think, was the spinning around video she did in the 1990s. Or was it early 2000s? I don't care.
She's sort of ageless. You never really know. Oh, dog barking. So he's there suddenly. Jeff Keighley, not Kylie, and that face he made during the Doritos picture. The picture that times.
Sure, the sleepy-eyed.
Yeah, as he's just talking to a man in a raccoon suit and texting and just so miserable. And yeah, we got video of that. Hopefully, I didn't dare talk to him though because I'm sure he's sick of cameras and how they can make him look when he doesn't have control over the
Doritos sat next to him.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that was a thing. That went on all night. I was totally exhausted. And then we drove back in the same night. Then I woke up and actually bought a Wii U. And then I came home and I'm doing this.
Did you pre-order the Wii U or did you just manage to luck out and find one?
I did pre-order it actually when I was at the event earlier. What was that? Last month now. I immediately pre-ordered when they announced pre-orders. So that was a relief. That was totally sold out at the GameStop I was at, and the managers were really angry. It's really bringing out a lot of anger, this whole Wii U launch. I guess people are burned from how the whole Wii selling thing went last time. I know that there's a lot of people at GameStop who are angry at the Nintendo, who thinks that they did the Wii shortages on purpose and it made their lives a living hell because they were getting a call every 10 minutes to ask if they had Wiis in stock. And just the whole word Wii is like a kind of a post-traumatic stress thing.
Like that, yeah.
Miserable.
I know Bob Chipman over, guy who works on The Escapist and Screw Attack, he pre-ordered and didn't get his today. He's not sure when he'll get his. I remember when I pre-ordered the Wii in, when was it, 06, 07? I forget when it was in the UK. But yeah, it took me, I think, a week to eventually get it, even though I'd pre-ordered. I can imagine it's nightmarish for those in charge of that.
Yeah, they seem sad. But back to the games, you reviewed Jesus, I'm looking at it now.
I didn't review
One,
Jesus.
2, 3, 4. It looks like you gave the Wii U a 5 out of 10, but you didn't actually. If you had to give it a number score, can you even do that with a console?
Didn't stop Polygon.
Oh yeah, Polygon. Yeah.
I would feel odd doing it for that, but only I guess because it's out of my remit. We're all predominantly software reviewers, and we do the hardware stuff. We're trying to do a lot more hardware stuff with mice and headphones and whatnot, but it still feels weird for some reason giving it a score. I don't know that it's wrong to do. It just doesn't seem very typical. Even on like sites where hardware reviews are their thing, I don't see many scores on them. Guys reviewing cell phones and iPods and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, we didn't. I wouldn't want to score it because
It looks like you did though. They'll have to change that on the website because it just looks like you gave it a 5 if you look at the sidebar, which is probably not what you want people to think.
what have I done?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't mean to, but it looks like if you don't give a review a score on Destructoid.com, then it just assumes you meant a 5 out of 10. If you go to the little review sidebar, you'll see it for the.
On the sidebar. Okay, so it's not on the review itself.
No, the review itself looks good, but on the sidebar, people are going to be like, "Oh, shit sucks." Stop. Not buy it now.
Oh, on the sidebar here, it just shows it up as blank for me.
Oh, what if you click on Tank review, which I'm reading now?
Tank.
Jesus, 2.0. That's 4.5. I mean, you gave a 2 to Epic Mickey.
Epic Mickey up the shitty. Wii U 5. Oh yeah, that's an interesting bug there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna screen cap that. Make sure Nero sees that. We can change that. That's a coding error, I think.
Yeah.
The new site design still has a few little kinks in it.
But you did give Scribblenauts Unlimited a 5, legit.
Yes. Scribblenauts Unlimited never has a less true name been enjoyed by a video game. It's sad. I love Fifth Cell. Lock's Quest, still one of my favourite DS games ever. I'd put it probably just up there next to Mass Attack. And it's sad,
I wonder if they rushed it for launch or something.
I do like that comment, though.
What?
Someone's trying to justify the Scribblenauts with, it's a kid's game, why should it stump you, a 45-year-old video game player? 45?
Yeah, that's worse than I usually get. It's Scribblenauts is a kid's game? I thought it was just a game for human beings to play, like, Nintendo games are usually palatable to children, but adults can find challenge in them too.
Makes you wonder why they're going out of their way to defend it. If it is a kid's game, why do they give a shit?
Yeah, maybe they're a kid. Maybe a really well-spoken 3-year-old. Coming after that. Yeah.
When people were giving Scribblenauts, glowing previews and reviews and stuff, no one ever said it was a kid's game then. It's perfectly fine then. It's only when you don't like it that it's a kid's game. Well, don't send them to me then if it's wrong. Don't send me them to review, because if it turns up, what am I going to do? Just throw it in the garden? Right.
But ZombiU you gave an 8, despite the fact that there are some bugs, it looks like, and some technical flaws.
Oh yeah, ZombiU is one of those games that someone could say it's a piece of shit and totally be correct and justified. But another person could say it's brilliant and engaging and I loved it, and also be totally valid and correct, and not just in terms of all opinions are fine way, just it's that polarizing. We've seen it with the review scores. We've got, I think GameSpot gave it like a 4 or a 4.5 or something.
Really?
Game Informer didn't like it. They probably gave it one of their scores, like a 2.36 stroke F minus 3 or something. Right up to Eurogamer, who gave it a fucking 9. So it's everywhere.
Wow. And
I gave it an 8. Because I wish I could have given it higher, but it's got a lot of technical flaws. Visually, this looks like a Wii game, and I believe it changed consoles and stuff during development. It probably was for that at some point. I don't know too much about the history, but
I'll chime in on that. I know a little bit about it. It actually started as a Rabbids game, where you're just shooting
Oh, yeah.
rabbits in the trash, and then it turned
Killer
into
Freaks, yeah.
Killer Freaks, which was just killing aliens that jump out of trash cans, and they're like, zombies. So yeah, they basically tried to squash 3 game types over the course of the development. That was pretty fast development, actually. They kind of rushed it out for launch, I think.
Yeah, it's
Which
very
is,
glitchy as a result.
mhm.
I've been grabbed through a door. Um, what else has happened? I've had, physics weird out. The loading is not very nice, and I've had 2 crashes, which did upset me. Um, but despite all that, it's still a great experience, and a lot of that hinges on my love of survival horror.
Mhm.
Um, and again, if you're not a big survival horror fan, if you just want a shooter, you're not wrong to hate this.
Mhm. Mhm.
This is the wrong game for you, and I certainly don't hold it against anyone who gave it a negative review today. Um, but that's it. It's going to be one of those polarizing experiences because it is for a very particular player, and it's a very bold move by Ubisoft, who aren't really known for bold moves of late.
Mhm.
Especially with the launch stuff, where they usually play it safe with just ports and family minigamey shit.
Right. Well, they had a
Sorry,
big success with Red Steel, with the first Wii, where they kind of rushed that out too. But
before
it's
people knew better.
well, it scratched an itch that they couldn't have scratched anywhere else on any other console, really, because it's one of the first pointer-controlled first-person shooters, and it was also the only game of its type when the Wii launched, and they managed to do the same thing around the Wii U. The 2 launch games I bought were New Super Mario Brothers U and ZombiU, because I can't get another game. For better or worse, ZombiU is the only game of its type I know of. The closest you could probably get is, but not really. Dark Souls has a similar vibe to just like dread and, being faced with the fact that you are going to die soon, and just trying to inch out as much time alive as you possibly can.
Yeah, that's the closest. But in terms of the genre, I mean, you're looking at console survival horror, and it's not a first-person shooter. This game, it's got first-person shooting, but it is a survival horror through and through.
Mm-hmm.
I felt wrong even tagging the review with first-person shooter. I tagged it with survival horror and left it at that.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what it is, and we haven't had a true dyed-in-the-wool survival horror since I think the PS2 era. We've
Mm.
had attempts at bridging the gap with, Silent Hill Downpour was a very nice horror game that did its best to try and, appeal to more than just old school fans. The Dead Space series was very effective at horror, but obviously more action oriented. This is a real, oh my god, everything's going to kill me. I've got no real resources. My character's not that good at fighting. I'm fucked. It's that kind of game, and I'm so happy to see one again on a console. I was thrilled, and more than a little grateful to Ubisoft Montpellier for doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pleased that it was a game that could do that. I mean, there was a time when the zombie as a single entity was frightening.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They weren't just walking targets with, oh, hey, isn't it fun to pop all their heads off kind of attitude, which is fine and valid, but this game makes you remember what it was like to be scared of a zombie, because even 2 will really fuck you up, and
Mm-hmm.
it's really quite challenging to, you can take one-on-one with your cricket bat. You see 2, it's normally a case of just backpedaling and pulling out your gun as quickly as possible and trying to pop one's head so that you can work on the other. It's fantastic stuff,
Mm-hmm.
in terms of atmosphere and challenge and just putting you up against the ropes.
That sounds almost exactly like how I felt when I first played Resident Evil 1. If I had the knife, maybe I could survive against 1 if I just kind of kept hitting it and back up. But if there was 2, and if I was low on ammo, then I'm just completely screwed. I might be able to shoot 1 down, but then the other one's going to get me. Yeah, it's an amazing feeling. I can't wait to get back into that. And I hope it's a big success, despite the fact that it sounds like they designed the game around the limited time and resources they had. So they made a game where you didn't need to pack the screen with a lot of enemies or have a lot of big stuff happening graphics wise. Hopefully it'll be popular, and then we'll get more survival horror again after this. In a lot of ways,
yeah.
it sounds like the anti-Resident Evil 6 in a lot of ways, the way you describe it.
I think it is, which is interesting because you look at me. I reviewed Resident Evil 6 very negatively, and ZombiU quite highly. And over at Game Informer, we got Tim Turi, who reviewed Resident Evil 6 quite highly, and ZombiU quite negatively. So it does look like it really is a matter of who these guys are appealing to. But then again, I am a fan of action games, and I thought as a basic action game, Resident Evil 6 was shit. But, what can you do?
I hate to sound judgmental, but when people say they love Resident Evil 6, it does make me think they're just not particularly discerning, or they just can look over a bunch of flaws that, for whatever reason, just punch me in the face when I play that game. Just technical glitches and just dumbness, Ugh.
Yeah, but then again, I mean, technical glitches abound in ZombiU, and I loved it. Yeah,
indeed.
And I tell you what, I know you're not a big multiplayer guy, but if you got some local zombie fans and stuff, the King of the Zombies mode in ZombiU is hilarious.
I played a little of that at E3, and I actually love local multiplayer. It's online interactions that usually, with strangers for the most part, that bum me out. Because I just get called names and then the rage quit on, it's not that fun. But local multiplayer I love, and I will be playing a lot of local multiplayer hopefully this week on the Wii U with Nintendo Land as well. I love that Animal Crossing. I love stabbing that elephant with a knife. You know that part?
What?
The part in Nintendo Land, Animal Crossing Sweet Day, when you stab the elephant with a knife?
Oh, it's Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I spent only a bit of limited time with that one. I had to try and get the local multiplayer stuff when and where I could with the boy and everything. So
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's pretty good. You stab him.
Cool.
Sounds good. Yeah,
fucking elephant. Prick.
So, what are you looking forward to from here? Are you going to get to take a break, or?
I'm mostly looking forward to you getting set up and online, so that I can constantly call you using Wii U video chat. And it really speaks to what might be wrong and or right about me and the way I live my life. That was one of the immediate thoughts I had as soon as the update went up. As soon as I saw the Wii U chat, I thought, when is Holmes getting online? Is he on right now? Can I call him? I need to call him and show him my face and maybe other things, and just tell him stuff and see him on my TV and have the best life.
That's so flattering. When is that live already?
It's live already.
Have you checked it out? How does it work?
I've not checked it out. I got a call, missed call. It doesn't really notify you much. What'll happen is the home button will pulse blue to show you're getting a call in. And then you can hop in and take a call. And it's even got like a missed calls list. So it's very much like having this weird little phone on your game console. And your phone, Jonathan, will be ringing off the bloody hook. Because I will be calling you all of the time.
That is very flattering.
Let you know that I'm thinking of you and you are my good friend. and I need you to look at my face while I look at yours and go, good. That is a good face.
Well, I'm trying right now, actually. You can hear the beeping. My wife was trying to set up the Wii U, but she got sad and is now clipping her toenails because she hates technology. She was like, "What's this cable? It's a plug? Do we have an HDMI? No, forget it," and just put it down.
You're home to Bel Air!
But I'm doing it. I'm setting it up as we speak.
Oh, see, this is what I wanted. This is...
Yeah?
Hey, don't mention we speak. Did you get it? Or not? What was I talking about? Yes, this is what I promised, because you're setting it up in real time. This
I
is a
am. You can-
Podtoid exclusive. Polygon hasn't got this. Kotaku can go bark at the dogs, for all I know. We've got the real Wii U story right here. Jonathan Holmes, that's the Jonathan Holmes, by the way, boys and
Whoa.
girls, is setting up his Wii U home entertainment console device, gaming system, social media, extravagant box, technology, electronics, available in all good stores, including Best Buy and Target, but not at the moment because they are sold out. As we speak, he is hooking it up and seeing if he has got an HDMI thing while his wife clips her feet.
I picked a me that's got gray hair and huge eyeballs, and he's old and sad. I have to enter a nickname. It's gonna be
Chungus.
Chungus. All right, it's Chungus, because you said. Yeah, this isn't that exciting for the listeners.
It's very exciting for me.
Can you hear the blue 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 blue?
We can hear all the bleeps. You see, the listeners know it's happening and they can't stop it.
What do you think of the controller now that you've played? Because you still have the Samurai Warriors game to do, right? Samurai Warriors Extreme Orochi Explosion or something?
Yeah, I'm trying to get to the new characters. There's like 2 new characters, but I haven't found them and I have no clue how to get them. And so it's been a bit of a struggle. But I've been playing a lot of it. It's really the last major review I've got to do now that Tank's done. I mean, I've got Mass Effect 3, but I never played the original. And there's not a lot I could say. I'm going to wait for someone else to do it and send it to them. I think Conrad's sent me a message. I need to get to him after we record. He might be able to buy one today.
Oh, cool.
So actually, while we talk, see, now they can listen to you fiddle with a Wii U and me just doing admin.
It comes built in with Me Maker, Netflix, YouTube, Hulu Plus, Amazon, Instant Video. Weird. I guess I should do a thing. Oh, should I update that damn thing? Oh, and then switch it around. Maybe I can get my wife to come in. Hey, my wife. Come here a moment, please. She's going to come over here and give her thoughts on setting up the Wii U and let you guys know how hard it is. Yeah, get on the headset, my wife.
Hi, Jim.
Hello.
How's it going?
That's not too bad. I'm alright. How is yourself? Jonathan Holmes tells me you were clipping your feet.
I got grumpy. I didn't like setting up the new technology. It's not as easy as they make you think it is. Simple diagrams. I think they're misleading.
Yeah. They normally just says you super glue the box to the side of the television and then it will work and they will talk to each other. But it doesn't quite work like that.
Well, that would be a perfect world.
Yeah, it's more easy than it was, but than it was back in the days of SCART cables. But there you go.
Well, I didn't just get lazy. I stopped because I didn't want to set up the internet on it thinking that it would disrupt the podcast. So I'm really very considerate.
Ah, that is very kindly.
And humble, too. Didn't you get sad, though, when you found some clips?
There were clips, yeah. So Jonathan had been saying that you weren't supposed to put this Wii on its upright side. You were just supposed to keep it horizontal. And
no, that's not true.
yeah, I realized this morning it just makes him a liar.
He's feeding spoonfuls of lies to his family and the general public.
It's disgraceful. But I figured out where they go. I put them on there, but I kept it on its side because I would have had to move a box in order to get it to stand upright, and I didn't feel like it doing that.
That works well. That's progress. That's Obama's America right there.
Now I'm looking at a gray-haired man on the screen. What do I do?
How's the Wii U pad feel there?
The pad feels... The pad caresses my hands in a comfortable way. It absorbs my ideas. Oh, this pad. The game pad.
The game pad.
I get it.
About tampons?
The gamepad, it's heavier than I thought it would be, but it's pretty comfortable.
That's interesting because I expected it to be heavier. It's actually quite, but then I have mighty, strong Hercules arms from all of the weightlifting I do and
You do.
horse punching that I enjoy at the
Very
Wednesday club.
impressive upper body strength.
It's fantastic. That and I got a Nokia Lumia phone and the 920, and that's heavy as bloody buggery anyway. So it's actually I found it not as heavy. Well, comparably as heavy as a 360 controller. If it is heavier, it's imperceptible to me. I think the fact it's flat and wide gives it an equal weight distribution as well, which helps.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know how physics work. I could be talking bollocks with that, but...
Yeah. And yesterday at the event at the Nintendo store, they had them for demo, and you had to stand with them because they were for demo. And it's better sitting down. It's less like I'm holding this heavy thing and having to stand. So...
Oh, definitely, yeah.
That makes a difference. How do you start a game? Jonathan wants to know. Oh, Fat Little Lizard is walking. I think it's starting. The game can be played with either a Wii remote or it. Save data about activate Nintendo Network ID required.
Whoa.
Register. Buttons. Yay.
Nice. I'm gonna take the podcast.
Bye, Jim.
Bye!
Jim, it just told me to do like 5 different things before I started playing Mario Bros.
This is like a caveman discovering fire, this. You now have a system that with well integrated online capabilities.
I don't want to integrate it. Because, I have a 360 and a PS3 as well, but barely play the 360. Play the PS3 a good amount, but I often get slowed down by all the different updates they launch at you. But now I have to do or don't jump into the Wii U whenever you... What? This is going to confuse a lot of people who don't like you.
I'm seeing a woman with horn-rimmed glasses. This is how I'm seeing you. Woman with horn-rimmed glasses working in an office on a typewriter. Just clackety, 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 tang! Clackety, 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 tang! And the boss comes in, and I am the boss. With a big moustache, and I say, "Oh, what are you doing there, Deirdre?" And you're like, I'm typing documents on a typewriter like I do in the 80s." And I say, "Ho, you silly bastard! You don't have to do that no more, Deirdre, or Agnes, whatever you're called. I have invented the computer because it is the 80s. Wheel it in, it is as big as a Coca-Cola buying machine that you might get at a shop because it is the 80s. It comes in and sits in your office, so you don't have to fuck about with a typewriter no more. Fiddling about with ink ribbons and being unable to save Resident Evil data when you need to. I've got this computer, it will save documents and print stuff out, and you can go on tap MySpace with it in the 80s. So, do that instead of this typewriter, you idiot. And then you were like, "Oh no, why do I have to? This won't catch on. And typewriters I've used all my life, they're here to stay. They're here forever, just like this VHS tape I've got in my bra, padding it out so that it looks like I've got bigger boobies than I have." And I say, "Ho! I haven't even told you about tap Blu-ray technology that I have just invented as well. I've got one in my pocket. Here is a Blu-ray." And you look at that and you go, "Oh no! I don't like the Blu-ray. I'm just gonna eat this strawberry I found in some dog shit." And then I go, "No, I've got organic strawberries now. Oh, fucking hell! Stick it up my windy chuff. I don't like new things because I am an old typist from the north of England. I've got a knitting needle in my hair. That proves I am old-fashioned. Knitting needle? You dumb fucking twat. You don't need knitting needles anymore. I've got microwaves.
I am a little bit like that, sure. I'll take that criticism. That's fair. I have a hard time sometimes with new stuff. I like the stuff that I like, and then when there's new stuff, I'm like, oh, I like the stuff I like, not a new thing. But we're already playing the Mario Brothers, so it wasn't that bad. My wife's doing it in the background, I think.
It's
I don't know what Huh?
it's pretty simple enough once you get used to it.
Well, we actually had to start up. It wanted me to do all this stuff to hook up to the internet with the Nintendo Network and all that. And then I had to cancel out and go back to the Wii menu, which was kind of a pain. And then I started again, and it didn't ask me all the same questions. But now it's playing the intro to the game for the second time. This is weird. Nintendo's weird now.
It's a whole new.
Yeah, I can adjust.
He's
Oh.
got a Wii U in his house, and he's trying to play the games, and he needs the internet.
I don't want to go on the internet now. It'll screw up this talk we're doing. Is that noise? Is the music too loud in the background?
It's the loudest thing I have ever heard in my life.
I don't know how to turn down the volume on the gamepad. Do you know, Jim?
Oh, how do I turn it off?
I don't know. It's a button. One button. That's my new old woman voice.
There is a volume control on the top of the gamepad. There's a little slider.
Oh, how do you like that? Look at that. Okay, I done it. I turned it down. That's good. A weird thing happened. A man gave me a nut last night. Yeah, I didn't expect it. It was. It's on video. Hopefully, we're gonna edit the video today of the whole launch event. I was talking to a man. He didn't speak English, and then all of a sudden he was like, "Nut." You'll have to see it. You'll see it. Yeah.
Fantastic.
It's a preview for that. Oh, now the dog's barking.
Dog's all excited for the Wii U.
I don't know. The dog's being a real jerk. She pooped in the house while I was in New York. Made me sad. Yeah, my wife's very sensitive to the dog. She's like, "Oh, it's our fault. We didn't give it enough attention, so it pooped on us." But that's not a valid reason to poop on someone or something, is it?
Well, again, I'm gonna have to confess. If I was in a room with you and I felt you weren't paying me due attention, and by that I mean you weren't looking at me for more than 3 minutes, I would probably poo to get you to look around.
That's fair, because you can clean up your own poo, I think.
Wouldn't, though. I would just sit in it until you wipe me down.
My wife is playing Mario Brothers, and I believe she has forgotten that it has a run button.
My time.
Oh, she's just taking her time. She's just missing jumps and falling down. Because she doesn't want to press 2 buttons. She wants 1 button in her video games.
It is always an awkward run system the Mario games have. They've never changed it.
No.
Having the run next to the jump in that weird diagonal way, it's like they could have just mapped that to a shoulder button or something. Now that they can.
I have never thought of that because I've been playing it that way for so long, and I was actually fairly disappointed when Mario went 3D and he no longer had a run button. You just hold the analog stick harder and are basically running all the time. Took out some of the dynamics between choosing how fast you're going to go and how risky the game is, because the faster you run, the farther you can jump, but also the faster you might make a mistake. So
sure.
Shoulder button. Why don't they do that? With this new Nintendo, they may go about doing that so you can easily do both. Oh, God damn it, dog. I don't know how much more I should podcast either. I have to get ready for Sup Holmes pretty soon.
Yeah, I've been neglecting my family this week as well, doing all this work, so I can't hang around too much. But, I wanted like a nice little just extra treat for the listeners while I had a bit of spare time. I'm more or less over the hump as far as the workload goes now. I've still got to do the Far Cry 3 multiplayer stuff, but I decided I'm not worrying about Far Cry 3 now until tomorrow. I've done the campaign of it, so I just got to get the multiplayer done. But once that ZombiU review went up, I felt a little emotional which sounds silly in a way, but after spending like over a week now just up until the early hours of the morning just working on this stuff, getting it all played, and worrying, like really stressing about, I've got all the time I think I need to play them. How the hell am I going to find the time to write them? And somehow pulling it out of the hat and managing it. Even at one point getting ahead of schedule. And just going all the ups and downs with trying to cover a launch practically single-handedly. Not that I say that to show off. I mean, I willingly and happily took the job on, and I was privileged and happy to do it. But seeing the ZombiU review go up was that kind of that was the moment where it was officially done.
Yeah, the Wii U coverage, because the game you're reviewing now, the Samurai Warriors, that's not even out yet, is it?
It might be. I think it's available for download on the eShop at the very least.
Oh, I didn't know that, because I
yeah.
didn't see it in stores at all yesterday, but maybe they just weren't carrying it yesterday.
Yeah.
And
but it's a port anyway. Which we don't normally review straight ports, but because it's the Wii U, you know, I want to try and get some reviews done. And I've got Mass Effect 3, which, as I said, I'll probably mail to Conrad. It turns out he did go ahead and buy that Wii U, so I'm going to mail that to him and that. So yeah, Warriors of Roshi is the only real review I've got left to do for the Wii U, and it's not the most pressing urgent thing. So that'll probably go up on Monday if I can find those characters.
Awesome.
So yeah, everything else I do now is an extra. I've done all the mandatory stuff that ended with the ZombiU review. So I sat back and just thought that I'm happy. I'm happy.
Yeah, you should be. And it's amazing how well you can write on no sleep. As you know, sadly, better than most, when I don't sleep and I write a review, it can get pretty ugly. You've had to give me some notes like, yeah, seems like you forgot how to write words and sentences.
I never said that. That sounds like I was being incredibly rude.
No, not at all. You've always been polite about it. That would be funny if you said that to me. I would take that well. But yeah, you nailed it. Very well written stuff in a short amount of time, and a huge amount of stuff, and a huge amount of games you had to play on top of it. So yeah, great job, Jim.
Thank you. And I only got through with minimum madness. I did have to remove a bit of the Wii U hardware review when I started writing about how consoles feed lies to televisions through the wires. There's a few legacy remnants of just weird meandering comments in the hardware review, but otherwise I think I've gotten away with it.
My wife just got the flying squirrel suit for the first time in her life in Mario Brothers U. Let's ask her what she thinks. What do you think of that squirrel suit?
I thought something was wrong because I was stuck.
You were stuck on what?
A block.
Do you like the game all right?
Yeah.
She likes it all right.
Oh,
So that's good news. Yeah.
that's good.
You like his little butt there? She likes his butt shaking when he climbs a ladder.
It does shake that little butt. I would like to see you climb a ladder with a saucy little wiggle, Jonathan.
And I can get on reviewing eShop games, I guess, after I get the that Adventureland game's supposed to be coming in the mail any second now. So when I rub that out, I didn't mean it like that. You rascal! I can start getting on stuff there if you want.
Good.
Just let me know.
I bought Chasing Aurora last night.
Oh, okay.
I bought Chasing Aurora mostly to just test out the buying process. I was going to review it, but then I find out it's local multiplayer only. Not just you can only play multiplayer local. I mean, it is only multiplayer. That's all the game is. I didn't know. I knew nothing about that particular game. I just thought that looks pretty. I'm going to download that.
Huh. There's supposed to be a single player mode somewhere, but you might have to unlock it. I don't know. I haven't played it yet.
Maybe I missed. I just clicked on the main menu and it demanded that Wii remotes get grabbed while all I could do was fly this guy around on the gamepad. It looked very pretty, very gorgeous looking game, but I don't know. I'll have to con some friends into playing it or just let someone else review it.
Sure.
But yeah, I'm excited about the eShop stuff. I hope they update it more regularly than they have done other previous things. But, I mean, this is new Nintendo, Brave New World, so hopefully they'll do more stuff. It is fascinating in any case to just see Darksiders and
Mass Effect,
Assassin's Creed, like, just in the eShop, just, hey, download this game. Okay.
Yeah. We should speak about that a little bit. I know we were talking about going, but I'm super curious about how the eShop is. I haven't done that update yet. How does it compare to the 3DS eShop or just other
The
downloadable
music's a lot more
services?
catchy.
Okay,
Very
that's good.
catchy music. I mean,
How's the
the old
layout?
music was good. The layout is nice. It's very it's modern. It's it's got all the tiles and all the stuff like you'll see on the PlayStation Store now or Steam or what have you. But it's friendly. It's a nice friendly layout, very clean. So far, the category seems sensible. It's got an indie section, which is fantastic to see. Nice little search function. So far, browsing it has been an active pleasure. It is
Really?
It's fast as well, like lightning speed compared to the old eShops that we've seen and the Wii shop land or whatever it was. A lot more intuitive, a lot more just fun. Just I like a storefront that I enjoy browsing.
Wow. That
And
is saying a lot from what you said and what a lot of people said about the Wii Shop channel, which is it's a slow, boring, confusing chore.
yeah, in all fairness, I said that about the 3DS eShop as well.
Yeah.
But this is again, it's almost like there was just I don't know. Like they must have some snake, like an actual talking serpent at Nintendo now that just whispers things in Reggie and Iwata's ear. That's just do this. I had nothing funny planned for the snake to say, so now it just says do this.
That is very funny, and that they listen to it. That they're like, "Well, the snake says we should do this. Therefore, let's get on that. Let's get a crack team on that." And
Yeah.
it's working. And you're actually right. I talked to a guy at Nintendo. I don't think he wants me to use his name as of yet because he's not allowed to talk to the press. So it was purely off the cuff. But he worked on the original Xbox Live and has been working on storefronts for a long time. And Xbox Live Arcade, I mean. And he worked on the Wii U eShop in terms of getting games on there and also talking about how the store should be run. So it sounds like Nintendo of America is finally getting a say on how a lot of the online stuff is done, because before it was mostly Nintendo proper, Nintendo from
Yeah.
Japan, and online is just not big in Japan. It's not big on consoles. It's not
Mhm.
big on PCs. Just not part of the culture over there.
That's
As
honestly
much.
wise.
Hmm.
It's clearly Nintendo Japan doesn't really care
Hmm.
about it so much. It's got no real stake in it as far as its own territory is concerned. Nintendo America's got to answer the flack for it because out in the West we're the guys that care about that stuff. So it makes sense to just say Nintendo America, you guys will know better what works. You handle it, and if that's been the case, then it's paid off as far as I can tell so far. I'm just waiting to see the virtual console stuff go up because so far I don't think that's up yet. I looked around, didn't find anything because I want to start playing some of that stuff in HD and on my TV and stuff, and hopefully the GameCube games go on because I will fucking buy the shit out of Wind Waker again.
I'm with you on that 100%. Did you do the transfer from regular Wii to Wii U?
I
I
don't have
heard.
enough plugs. I don't have
Yeah.
enough plug sockets.
I'll get on that.
I'm
Yeah.
probably going to dick around with it today if I can find the time. That was one of those things. So there are some areas of my coverage I feel were deficient just because I couldn't do everything. That was one thing I didn't get around to doing, but I will do. I will give it a go.
Awesome. I look for, if you do it before me, I look forward to reading about it, hearing about it. And we're doing Podtoid again in just like 2 days.
Yeah,
Jesus, we'll be talking again soon.
yeah. Don't worry. I'll come up with plenty to talk about there.
I look forward to it as always. Okay, well I
Yeah.
guess we'll sign off then, Jim.
Certainly, yes. And
talk.
send me your Nintendo Network name when you get it, so I can start sending you just reminders that you exist.
Yeah, I'll do that right now. Right now I just have the one me, Chungus, but after we do Sup Holmes, which is coming on in an hour and a half, I've got to get ready for that and play some more of Adam Tierney's games. We've got Adam Tierney on. He was the director of Lit and Aliens Infestation, which you really liked, as I remember, Jim. You like that one, right? The DS one that was
Oh
kind of
yeah, great little game.
2D survival horror, yeah. And he also did Silent Hill Book of Memories, which you liked and didn't like at the same time. So he's got an interesting catalog of games he's worked on. He's just a really interesting guy. So we're having him on in like an hour and a half. Should be fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I will see you next week, Jonathan, 2 days, and we'll talk to the listeners later on. Thank you for coming with us on our special little Wii U podcast, what we did, which was a nice little extra treat for you. Don't mention it. Christ. See you later. Bye.
Bye.